In a world dominated by Intel, AMD, and Apple's processors, there's a technological powerhouse silently reshaping the future of computing. And most people have never heard of it. Deep within Huawei's laboratories, a revolutionary chip called the Kunpeng-920 is powering an entirely new computing ecosystem that could challenge Silicon Valley's supremacy. This story begins in 2019, when Huawei unveiled the Kunpeng-920, not with the fanfare you'd expect from such a breakthrough, but with calculated precision. Originally designed for data centers and cloud computing, this processor represents something far more significant than just raw computing power. It's the heart of Huawei's bold vision for a future where Chinese technology stands shoulder to shoulder with Western giants. But what makes this chip so special? Imagine a processor that combines the efficiency of mobile devices with the raw power of server-grade computing. Built on advanced 7-nanometer technology, the Kunpeng-920 packs up to 64 high-performance ARM cores into a single chip. That's enough processing power to handle everything from complex cloud computing tasks to smooth desktop operations. This balancing act becomes even more impressive when you consider what Huawei has achieved with this chip. Rather than starting from scratch to build a consumer processor, they took a different approach. They adapted their server-grade chip for personal computing, a move that's both brilliant and pragmatic. Think of it like repurposing a freight train engine to power a high-speed passenger rail system. It might seem counterintuitive at first, but when you consider the reliability, efficiency, and raw power available, the strategy starts to make perfect sense. But the Kunpeng-920 isn't just about processing power, it's the cornerstone of something much bigger. Enter HarmonyOS, Huawei's homegrown operating system that's already revolutionizing how devices interact in China. When paired with the Kunpeng-920, HarmonyOS creates an ecosystem that rivals the integration of Apple's M-series chips with macOS. The real-world implications are starting to emerge. In Chinese government offices and educational institutions, HarmonyOS PCs powered by the Kunpeng-920 are already proving their worth. Users report impressive battery life, smooth multitasking, and seamless integration with other Huawei devices. This push for independence hasn't come without challenges. Software compatibility remains a significant hurdle. Many popular applications designed for Windows or macOS don't run natively on HarmonyOS yet, but Huawei's approach to this challenge reveals their long-term strategy. Instead of trying to compete head-on with established operating systems, they're building something entirely new. Through initiatives like App Multiplier, they're creating a bridge between mobile and desktop applications, allowing phone apps to run seamlessly on PCs. It's a different approach to computing that could reshape how we think about desktop software. The impact extends far beyond just technical specifications. By developing both the hardware and software in-house, Huawei maintains complete control over the user experience, security, and feature development. This vertical integration mirrors Apple's successful strategy, but with a crucial difference. It's built entirely without reliance on Western technology. The numbers tell a compelling story. While exact figures are closely guarded, sources indicate that HarmonyOS now supports over 15,000 native applications. Government contracts and educational institutions across China are increasingly adopting Kunpeng-powered systems, creating a growing ecosystem that could eventually challenge the dominance of Windows and macOS. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this story is what it represents for the future. As more countries and companies seek technological independence, the Kunpeng-920 and HarmonyOS serve as a blueprint for building sovereign technology capabilities. The acceleration of HarmonyOS development reached a crucial milestone in October 2025, with the launch of HarmonyOS 6, marking a decisive step in Huawei's technological evolution. This wasn't just another software update. It represented a fundamental shift in how we think about operating systems. What makes this development particularly fascinating is Huawei's bold decision to completely break free from Android compatibility with HarmonyOS Next. It's a risky move that many industry experts initially questioned, but one that's starting to show its strategic brilliance. Picture a technology ecosystem where your smartphone, tablet, and laptop don't just share files. They function as a single, unified system. That's the reality Huawei has created with their super device feature. A user can start writing a document on their MatePad Pro, seamlessly continue on their MateBook, and finish on their smartphone without missing a beat.
The level of integration Huawei has achieved is remarkable. While Apple and Microsoft have been working on cross-device functionality for years, Huawei's implementation feels more natural, more seamless.
This seamless integration is perfectly demonstrated by Huawei's latest flagship devices. The MatePad Pro 12.2 Gold Collector's Edition, launched in 2025, showcases how the Kunpeng-920 chip and HarmonyOS work together to deliver a premium computing experience. With sophisticated drawing applications and advanced stylus support, it's challenging the iPad Pro's dominance in the creative professional market. But the real story isn't just about hardware or software, it's about the ecosystem Huawei is building. Think of it as a digital Silk Road, connecting Chinese innovation with global technology standards. The company's initiatives like App Multiplier are creating new pathways for developers to bring their applications to HarmonyOS, bridging the gap between mobile and desktop computing.
What's particularly impressive is how Huawei has turned technical constraints into innovation drivers. Instead of trying to replicate Western software models, they're creating entirely new paradigms for how applications should work across different devices.
The numbers tell an interesting story. While 15,000 native applications might seem modest compared to millions available on other platforms, it's the quality and integration of these apps that matters. Government institutions and educational facilities across China report significant productivity gains after switching to HarmonyOS-powered systems. Take the case of Shenzhen University, which transitioned its entire computer lab to HarmonyOS PCs in early 2025. Students and faculty reported not just improved performance, but a more intuitive computing experience. The ability to seamlessly share work between devices and collaborate in real time has transformed how they approach academic projects. The international market presents both challenges and opportunities. While U.S. sanctions have limited Huawei's global reach, they've also spurred interest from other nations seeking technological independence. Countries in Southeast Asia and Africa are particularly interested in Huawei's ecosystem as an alternative to Western-dominated technology.
We're seeing a fundamental shift in how countries think about technological sovereignty. Huawei's success in building an independent ecosystem has become a blueprint for other nations looking to develop their own tech capabilities.
The recent launch of the MateBook 16s and MatePad 11.5 LTE in Singapore demonstrates Huawei's careful approach to international expansion. These devices offer high-end specifications while showcasing the unique benefits of HarmonyOS, particularly in markets where integration with Western services isn't a primary concern. The implications for the future of computing are profound. As more countries and companies seek alternatives to traditional tech ecosystems, Huawei's model of technological independence becomes increasingly relevant. The company's ability to develop advanced hardware and software despite international restrictions, has shown that alternative paths to technological development are not just possible, but potentially advantageous. But perhaps the most significant impact isn't technological, it's philosophical. Huawei's success challenges the assumption that there's only one way to build a modern computing ecosystem. By prioritizing seamless integration and native capabilities over backwards compatibility, they're creating something genuinely new rather than just an alternative to existing systems. This approach is reshaping how we think about the future of computing. In a world where most technology discussions center around incremental improvements to existing systems, Huawei is asking fundamental questions about how computers should work and how users should interact with their devices.
The Kunpeng-920's architecture is a masterclass in efficiency. While it may not beat the latest Intel or AMD chips in raw benchmark scores, its real strength lies in how it balances performance with power consumption, something crucial for the future of computing.
What we're witnessing is nothing short of a technological declaration of independence. While the West focused on traditional computing paradigms, Huawei has been quietly building the foundation for complete technological autonomy. What's particularly fascinating is how Huawei has turned adversity into opportunity. U.S. sanctions didn't cripple their ambitions. They accelerated Huawei's push for technological independence.
The implications for global technology markets are profound. We're witnessing the emergence of a completely independent technology ecosystem. This isn't just about one company's success, it's about the changing dynamics of global tech power.
The release of HarmonyOS 6 signals a new era in computing. We're seeing the emergence of an ecosystem that's not just an alternative to Windows or macOS, but a completely different approach to how devices interact.